Hi there, today we're gonna give you a tour of our tiny house.
Come on in. As we enter, we have here to the right our wardrobe, where we keep all our jackets and some shoes on the bottom, some cleaning supplies. It's always a mess in here. Then moving to the right, we have our kitchen. And the nice thing about it is that it has this extendable countertop, so we have a lot of working space when cooking. We have a really nice big sink and this tap that extends. I actually wash my hair here as well. Have long hair and I prefer to wash it with cold water, and this tap comes really in hand. Here above we have our shelving unit. We preferred having an open space to store some food and our plates and bowls and cups. Of course, if we would have to move the house, then everything would have to be packed. That would be a downside, but otherwise everything is easy accessible, so we really like this option. We have a tiny dishwasher right here, which is getting full now. Time to run it. And it's really a good size for 2 people. I think a bigger size would be too much. We don't have like that many plates and cups to wash at once. Then here we store our silverware and some baking stuff, some jars and spices, and right here on the bottom is where we store all the kitchen gadgets, like the kettle, and we have a small vacuum, a blender and egg cooker, and all sort of things that we didn't want to have on the countertop and use a lot of space. To have things a bit more clean, we have that designated drawer for all these kitchen supplies. Then right here is where we store all our pots and pans. Then we have a little oven for baking, and here you have a 2-burner gas stove and an air extractor above. We have some more spices here and some kitchen tools, our water filter, and we also added these hooks here to hang our mugs. And we kind of tried to fit everything. Like, we have a lot of tea on the top, which doesn't look great, but we are very much tea drinkers and there's never enough space for tea. Right here is where we have our garbage bins for the composting and normal garbage. Also outside we have additional 2 containers for recycling. There's always a bit of a space issue when it comes to garbage. It's difficult to put everything in the tiny house, like cardboard, and we always need to find solutions also outdoors to store all these things until the time comes to take them to recycling station. Right here we have our dining table slash working space, or it's really multiple purpose bar table. Here is where we have our meals with a view, and we have this amazing window that opens 90 degrees and we love it. We can look outside. There are many eagles that are flying around here, and it's nice to eat and look at the wildlife outside. We love it. And moving more to the right is my working space. I guess here's where I spend most of my time during the working week. This table extends. The desk is really tiny, but I really don't need more than this to do my work. So this slides out for my keyboard. Here is where I store some paper, pens, bits and bobs, and I have my 2 screens. I also use this one while traveling. It's a mobile screen, so I always take it along with me while traveling and I need to work. And yeah, it's a really nice space, especially because I'm next to the big French doors, and I also like see what's happening outside, and sometimes getting distracted. Like, oh, there's a bird that came right here. But it's a nice space to work, and I really love it.
And moving along, here we have our small terrace with a table. We have 2 extra chairs for guests if someone comes over, and our hammock. And let me show how you can open the door. And just like that, we can extend for extra 2.5 meters our tiny house. And over here we have our sofa that can be transferred in the bed, and there is a storage inside where we store our linen. Above it we have our recuperator, and above the recuperator is a laundry rack that can be dropped down. And this is the only way how we dry our clothes. We have a washer-dryer combo, but washer-dryer combo, as you know, it's not drying perfectly clothes, so we still have to hang them to make them perfectly dry. Over here we have an air purifier. It's a must to have in very small space. I would recommend. And over here is my working station. This is the place where mostly all YouTube videos are being made. At home I have 2 screens. When I'm on the road I'm using just my laptop. And yeah, it's very nice and comfy to work here. Here is a washer and dryer combo I was previously talking about. And above it is our 100-liter Dometic fridge. And here we have a tiny storage in, for example, where we have a remote controls. This one is from the fan. By the way, I forgot to mention about it. It's a lifesaver in hot summer days because it can blow up and blow down the air. So basically we will need just open a couple of windows a bit, and the fan does its job, and we never felt like we would need an air conditioner here inside. Then here is another remote controller that works for our indirect light on the floor. And we have here as well a HoTo flashlight. It's made of very nice material, and it has 3 different brightness levels, so dimmed, middle and very bright. And this is actually how you would use it, to just hang it somewhere if you need a light. We're using it as a normal flashlight, and you can also point it to a specific object, or you can have it as a wide angle. And in addition to that, it has SOS signals. We are using this one if at night time our gas runs out and we have to go out and switch the gas bottles, and in general if you have to check something around at night. Talking about the cool tools, we also got this tiny air compressor, which is very important in tiny house to have small things if you need them. And I guess this is the smallest I have ever seen, at least hold in my hands. This is air compressor that runs on the batteries, and it's perfect to pump your bicycle tires, even car tires, or just a ball. And it has its own built-in battery, and it's rechargeable from USB Type-C cable. So, and if you want to check out more of their products, we will leave the link in the description below. Thank you to HoTo Tools for sponsoring this video. Over here we have a tiny step easier to get inside in the bed. Actually, this was the very last choice. The house was actually already built, and then this was the last idea of the carpenter. Let's do this step just in case if you cannot jump in the bed. We don't use it as much as a step, but it's perfect place to store some tiny things in the staircase. Over here we have a watch and the weather station. We have sensors outside that tells us precise the weather. Over here we have a pantry, and here in the corner is all the setup of the sensors. Here is the Patry that we can adjust it, hot water, air, how many degrees, and water sensor to see how much level water we have left, and the battery sensor. Talking about the battery sensor, here we have a extra storage where I keep my camera gear. Behind there are the fuses, and over here we have a Sunstone Power 48 volt 200 ampere hour lithium battery. It's charged with 1.5 kilowatt solar panels on the roof. Talking about the water, we have right here built in all this size is 300-liter water tank, that runs around for 5 days. It as well depends how often we use washing machine and dishwasher. If you run them once a week and taking shower every day, it would be around 4 or 5 days it would last for us. By the way, talking about the washing machine, we are using only biodegradable stuff, and from True Earth we got this laundry detergent, which is amazing. It's so tiny, all these boxes enough for all year. If you are looking into living green, we would recommend it. And the heater is running on gas. It's Truma heater combi, which is hidden right here. It has a built-in 10-liter water boiler, so it actually warms up the water before you can use it. And over here we have all the Victron solar power inverter, DC-DC charger, because it's 48-volt battery, so we have from 48 to 12-volt DC-DC charger to power all the 12-volt gadgets. And right there is a 3-kilowatt inverter and / charger from Victron. And over here we have an internet hotspot from Netgear. It runs on the SIM card, of course, because we have no connections here. For both of us, it's more than enough to work all day through, and never had issues with that.
And before we go up to our loft, let's have a look in the bathroom. Here we have the switch, and the light is right along the mirror and makes a nice effect and enough light. Here we have the separate composting toilet, so liquids and solids are separated. It has a vent in the back, so all the smell goes out. We also use some sawdust to keep all the solids dry, and so far we didn't have issues with smell, luckily. Above we have a shelving unit where we store some extra towels and toiletries. Right here we have the sink. It's a nice size. Also, I like the round shape and the running water. Underneath there is more storage for other toiletries and some cleaning supplies. And here we have a nice big shower, and it's really big. I can dance here. And this cool curtain, it's a nice material from linen or denim, and it has a layer of wax which makes it water resistant, and it's really like robust. It stays into place, doesn't fly around when you shower or stick to your skin, and I think it looks nice as well. So now let's go up to the loft. And right here we have our wardrobe. There are 2 shelves for Roman, just only one for me because I'm a girl. I'm kidding. So I have 1 shelf and another wardrobe, which I'll show you in a minute. And right here we have drawers for our underwear and socks. And the wardrobe is actually quite deep. You can see on this side it goes all the way there, so we can have like 2 rows of clothes. So it can fit quite a lot inside. We have some more storage space here. We also have some plants and small things. It's also nice that as I come here upstairs, I can still stand. So I can change clothes as the wardrobe is here and while standing, which is great. And then can just hop on the bed. We have a little table here that we kind of never use. We thought that it's still nice to have a cup of tea and you have a view outside from this angle as well, but it's really more like decoration. We might dump it soon to make extra space. And our printer that we don't know where to put, we might get rid of it actually as well. There are some things that, like in a tiny house, you don't really find a place, or when you design the tiny house, you don't think like, where would I put the printer, or where do I put the air purifier? And then you end up with these things around that just add up to the clutter. And So yeah, I think we need to minimize our stuff even more to have a more nice space. The bed is queen size, 160 centimeters wide, and over here there's the extra wardrobe that I was talking about. So yeah, right here I'm storing additional clothes for myself. This side is for hanging. So yeah, I have some shirts and dresses. And the other side, there are some shelves. So I have some more clothes, also some notebooks. And then we also have windows on both sides. So we have enough air ventilation. We have also a small railing for safety reasons that we recently added. And under the mattress, we have this mesh. Is actually made special for boats, and it just ensures the mattress has enough ventilation and it doesn't get moldy underneath. So we really recommend having this in a tiny house. Outside, we added some tuya trees to kind of hide out the wheels and to look a bit nicer. Here we have this nice window that we've seen from the inside and our main entry door. We also added some lights that run on solar panels, so each light has like a tiny solar, and they also have sensors, and whenever we walk here around they automatically switch on, and that's also great at night.
Over here in the front we have a box where we store our gas bottles and some other things like a grass trimmer. We have one bigger, one smaller bottle. In the summertime it's usually plugged in just one and it never runs out. All the house is surrounded with cameras around. They're running from solar panels and they have built in their own batteries. They're made by Reelink if someone is interested. And over here we have a toilet fan. Actually, I'm thinking to make it all the way up because sometimes it doesn't smell so great when wind comes from this side to the doors. Over here is a bedroom window. I added a mesh there that flies don't fly in. And over here is a Truma exhaust and a place where fill up the water. And about the house itself, it's built on 7.2 meters times 2.5 meters trailer and it's 4 meters high. The interior is 25 square meters, included the loft.
And we are on a farmland here in Switzerland. We've been living in a tiny house for 1.5 years already and we absolutely love it. And if you have any questions about tiny living, tiny houses, just reach out. We are happy to answer any questions.
And see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.